All right, today we have another Will It Run, and it is actually, I'll show you this. In the last video, we put up the privacy screen, and now we have the privacy frost. Privacy frost all the way across, which is pretty awesome. And now 100% of the spies are kept out. Today we have this Honda mower. It is an HRB216. Picked it up the other day. 40 bucks is how much it was. Used to run probably just a carb issue. It sat for a little bit. The guy who was older, well, he said he was older. He was only in his 40s, which is not that old. And he was like, I just don't like messing with stuff anymore. So that kind of sent me in the wrong direction because he seemed like a handy dude. He had a big pole barn that he pulled it out of with a bunch of tools and equipment and whatever. So either A, he was telling the truth, or B, he tore into it briefly and realized that it would take more than just the regular, carb cleaning. So we'll see, but I'm never opposed to a challenge. So that's all I really know about it. The only thing that's wrong is, well, other than it not running, is this little air clip piece is broke off. I don't know how much that part is to replace. I don't really think it's that big of a deal. Might be able to plastic weld it, or who knows, something back. It had oil in it. The oil was not low. Had oil in it. Doesn't look like it's new oil, which makes me skeptical. If somebody was to run it dry and then fill it up with new oil, just to say it had oil in it, but that oil, well, I mean, they could have poured old oil in there, I guess, but, I don't know if somebody would go through that just to sell it, whatever. The fuel does not smell. Actually, there's no fuel in it whatsoever, which is also a good sign. All right, cool. So we'll check for spark first, and then if we got spark, we'll, the huge. All right, so we'll check for spark. I'm not gonna pull the plug out. I'm gonna use one of these tools because I have to go behind the mower and pull it, and I have no way of keeping it grounded while I do that. So this is where one of these comes in handy. So right there, I'll cut the light just to make it a little bit easier. There should be an orange light that'll flicker in there if there is spark. So we'll see. Seemed like there was more than enough spark, and it looked great. Plug's actually extremely wet. Interesting. All right, well, we're gonna take a little bit of fuel. We're gonna dump it down that plug hole. This is 2-stroke fuel. I know this is a 4-stroke engine. A little lubrication on the walls will not hurt, that is for sure. I don't think it's ran for like 2 years. It's been a while, maybe more or less, I'm not sure. So a lot of, I just wiped that off the plug. A lot of carbon buildup, which is fine. Okay, I'm gonna choke it. I will choke it. Very dangerous. Don't try this at home. Window is closed. Garage is closed. We're about to put some carbon monoxide up into the air. Don't do this at home. But it should only pop on just for like 1 second. I don't really know what the point of opening that garage door up was after I said I was not going to, but positive we're good, and hopefully this will be a survivor. So we'll tear into that air cleaner and carb, get it cleaned up, put some fuel in there, turn it on. Should come back. Air cleaner. And that air filter doesn't look too bad. There's a little bit, you can see it right there. It's a little bit of dirt, but have definitely seen worse. Gasket on here. I'll show you guys. There's a gasket on here right here that I'm trying to be careful of. I want to keep it. This is the carburetor. This is a plate. I'm trying to be careful. There we go. Trying to be careful to keep it on here. That way we can reuse it. It looks like there's some linkages that we gotta take off, and then we should be good. There's 2 linkages. This plate goes in between. Here would be the, let's do this. Here would be the air filter, carburetor, this plate, and then this would be the engine on this side. This just kind of blocks any crap from going underneath. There's also a fuel line right here that I don't know if shows up. Let's see if we can. This fuel line runs back. There's just a little clamp. Focus. There we go. There's a little fuel line right here that runs back that we'll have to pry off as well. There we go. All right, so that first one's good, and the second one, they're kind of shaped like this. They do like a. This is going to be really bad, but they're like a half of a swastika. I really feel bad making that as my reference, but that's the best way I know how to. A Z. No, because Z's are like slanted. It's like if the Z was like, instead of like dit, it's like dit, which hopefully you understand the reference now, but yikes, I am so sorry. I'm gonna take that fuel line off so that way I will then afford me the ability to turn this carburetor right here. I need to flip it like, I need to flip it like this way in order to get that linkage off that is right there. Again, it's doing that so I need to tip it back that way. So in order for me to do that, I can get this fuel line off right here off of the carburetor, that little clip right there. And I'm going to shut that fuel valve off. Not that, I don't think there's any gas in it anyways, but you know, plus I'll have this on deck. You know, if you have this, there will be no fuel. If you don't have this, there will be fuel. You know, dadgum Murphy and his laws. Fuel hose pliers, these are awesome. All right, and problem, fuel line is ripped. So I'm gonna have to rip it off because it's already ripped. But we have what we need now, so gosh, it's gonna kill me. There's the, it just grabbed really hard on that valve, so. I don't have that fuel line, I don't think, but that is like, I think that there was no way around this. Just from what I'm feeling right now, it is like just cemented on there. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I don't think there was any way that was coming off. Oh, I'm gonna snip it off. If you do this, be very careful. You don't get anything important. Yeah, this is, I think it's called petrified. This is a very petrified fuel line. So it might have needed to be replaced anyways. It's like, it's supposed to be you know, flexible rubber. It is like, it's like rock hard. Well, that's what we needed, but good. Okay, cool. Feels really heavy. Feels like it's full. I hope it's not, just because if this has been sitting for as long as they said it was. I really hope not, because it's probably got horrible fuel in it. It's completely dry. That's awesome. Yeah, well, there's a little bit in there. If you can see that gunk build up, and then there's that orange color. It smells very, very bad. So other than that, I think that float is stuck too. So I'm gonna be careful with that. Take it apart. Yeah, that float is stuck in there. I took that pin out, and that needle and seat is stuck in there. Alright, so it came out, which is good. The float looks brand flippin' new. Try to get that main jet out of the middle. You know what? Not gonna risk it. I have a little bit of penetrating fluid, acetone, transmission fluid. It doesn't hurt as long as you keep it off the rubber because of the acetone. I poured it in that hole, which I don't know if you can see, and it soaked all the way down, which is awesome. There's a screw in there that holds the jet in. I have a screwdriver that I ground down the shoulders on it so it can fit in there without doing any damage. These sometimes get stripped really easily. They're brass. And this one, oh, wonderful. Came out with no issues. Great news. Great, great, great news. This guy does not want to come out. It's not threaded in. It's just, see how it just pushed back down? It does not want to come all the way out. There it goes. Hey guy. There should be a hole through this. Let's see if I can show up on camera. There should be a little, there it is. Wonderful little hole through it. Sometimes it gets clogged. That's good. Now there's a main jet in there that's stuck. I'm gonna put this guy back in. I tried pushing that down from the housing of it, and it did not want to go. So I'm gonna thread that back down. I should push it back up, and hopefully that margin of ups and downs is gonna help it come out. Now I just got to get this bugger back out. There it comes. Easier. Alright, now let's get that other one. comes. All right, just a little lube. That's all I needed. So this comes out 4 1/4. Remember that. 4 1/4. Pretty sure that's the idle speed. I'm gonna take this pilot jet out here too. Everything near the bottom was what was left of the fuel was bad. Everything, you know, above it seemed to be in decent shape. Remember that 4 1/4 was what I turned that in before it seated. This was this idle speed, 4 1/4. So when I put it back in, I'm gonna turn it all the way until it lightly seats, and then I'm gonna turn it out 4 1/4 turns. Be careful with this carb cleaner if you do get it on any rubber gaskets or components. It's not good for it. Just want to get it off if it hasn't damaged it by that point. The bottom of that bowl does not look very good. I suspect it'll need some abrasive. Oh, actually, wow. Wow, okay. Well, we're good. Never mind. There's no drain in the bottom of the float bowl. It is just a float bowl. Oh, you know what? Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Okay. Main jet has to go back in. Just drop that back down. And then this valve seat, I think they call it, that goes and gets threaded back in. I'm nervous about that fuel line, that I'm not going to have enough slack in order to get it back over, you know, when that one broke. So hopefully we can get around that. Hopefully. Whoa, whoa, whoa. All right, this pilot screw, remember I said came out 3 1/2, no, 3 1/4, 3 1/2. No, it's 3 1/4. Thank you all for paying attention. It was 4 1/4. For all the people that were saying, no, it's 4 1/4. Okay, so I'm gonna send that in until it lightly seats, which is about right there. So now I am going to turn it out 4 1/4 turns. So there is one, no, not good. All right, 4 1/4. So 4 is 1. I'm looking at the notches on, I'm looking at the notches on this, and there's 4 notches. So every time I see a notch go around 4 times, that's 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 4 1/4. Hopefully we're good. All right, let's try to get that. Should get that fuel line back on. Hopefully that works. Hopefully. All right, there was this guy, if you remember. This guy went in between. It's kind of hard to hold it there until I have these bolts in. So I'm gonna leave that there for right now. We got this fuel thing we gotta deal with. I'm just gonna take the old fuel line and see if I can just fit it over it, and then we'll just pull on the fuel line a little bit. So far, so bad. It's not wanting to go on. Yeah, that is not even moving. All right, so it's on, barely. I have a weird feeling that it's gonna leak, but we'll see. I'm gonna try to clip that clamp over as far as I can. I don't know if it's gonna help it. Might just have to run and get a new fuel line. I just don't know if, because when I put, well, you know what? We're gonna give it our best shot. Yeah, it already came off. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna put the carburetor back on. Well, no, I can't, because I can't get in there. And I'm just gonna put this on again, very carefully. All right, that was on a little bit more than it was last time. But anytime that I put, yeah, I need a new fuel line. Son of a bee. Son of a bee. All right, well, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take this back off. Might take this linkage off. I'm pretty sure this just bolts on. So, and that looks like a 10 millimeter. I'm just gonna take this off. That'll give me more access in there. This fuel line is hooked on here too. Take that off. All right. So this linkage is off. This fuel valve is connected to it. That screw right there, and that's the only screw, I believe, from what I can feel. So I'm gonna hit that with an impact, because I just did it with one of those little screwdrivers that gets in there, and I wasn't getting much. So I want to take that off, that way I have more access to it. Just need to find a way to get in there. All right, there we go. So that's what we need. I'm just going to take this little protector off. And then those clamps, kind of useless, but all right, I'm going to leave all that just kind of laying there. Try to find another fuel line that is that length. Pretty sure that just bends, and it's just stuck that way for being like that for so many years. Try to find one that's that size, and then we'll see what happens. All right, back from the store. Went to the Home Depot, and we have a family farm store. Something that I've always wanted, never had, besides just the regular bathroom Q-tips, is these garage-specific long Q-tips with different size swabs. Very, very handy. And it was only, I want to say it was $5. Anyways, I will use that daily. So I'm going to put that right there. And fuel line. So I'm going to measure it, put the same size. I bet you want to know what's in here, don't you? A pair of goat leather gloves. What? Goat? Because they're the goat, or they're just made from goats. There's like a green and like a Sahara beige. Very, very awesome, and they're leather underneath, or goat leather. 16 something. Very good deal. It's a little bit harder than I prefer. So let's see, I'm gonna mark it, measure it about right. Doing this same length as this, starting at the front, or at the beginning, and we'll go to about right there. Get one shot. Perf. All right, I think, I don't know, the inside, the outside, the inside, I don't know, but that was the closest inside diameter I could find to that. And then obviously this one is much thicker. If you see them like side by side, well, they're not that much different. Well, we'll see, but that's the best I could do. Best I could do. All right, that one went on amazingly. And I don't think this, yeah, this cover is not gonna fit over. I don't even really know what this does. You know, it fits over this one. I think, yeah. Fits over that one. I think it's just some kind of protector. But who knows? I don't think this fuel clamp, I might not fuel clamp it just because it's on there pretty tight. This is gonna be more pain than it is joy. So I might just bail on this whole thing. Or maybe this one looks a little bigger. Oh yeah, okay. This one fit for some reason. So I'm gonna slip that on there. All right, sweet. So that one's on there. I am going to now put this linkage back up on. There's probably a proper and improper way to take it off. One thing that I'm trying to do is, let's get some light in here. This fuel clamp, if you see right there, this fuel clamp hooks into this linkage right there. And this only has so much play to where it's hard for me to pull it out and turn it to where I can get the impact driver in to get that. What I probably will do actually now is just getting it back in, is I might use the screwdriver, whereas to get it out I had to hit it with the impact in order to help it. So that's probably what I'll do. All right, cool. So that's on there. Finally, this guy. Okay, so that's on there. So, I mean, all that's left is just putting that garb on there, guy. Does not look like that fuel line is hitting anything. The only problem is, which I know this is going to be a massive problem. If you see, there's a little pointer. So if you see, so here, this is the fuel line. This is the crankcase. This is where all the oil sits. And as the engine heats up and as that oil gets slung around in there, that gets really, really hot. So this is leaning directly up against that, which is why I'm assuming there was this thing, if you remember, that went over that just in case it went up, this could withstand the temperature. So there's really no way around it. So I might just have to get at another time. I might just fire it up now, get it running, make sure it's all good, and then maybe come back with some kind of insulation for this that fits the outside diameter and just slip it over. Something like this, but bigger. This whole fuel line thing has kind of turned into a big pain in the rear, but we're gonna carry on. All right, let's get this guy in there. Let's fill this guy up, and we should be good to go.
Okay, so the rest of the video, thank you for watching, appreciate it, by the way. Hopefully I've earned a like, hopefully I've earned a subscription. The rest of it, I'm gonna let it run. I'm gonna warm the oil up a little bit, change the oil, take the blade off. That's the rest of it, but cool. Thanks for watching, guys.